One of the things that I see that's kind of missing from this in all this combination of skills that you need as a data scientist is also a pretty good product understanding. There's a big void in the world today of product people that know data and understand even the capabilities. Because you will learn things that in a week or two you can establish something that if you ask the product manager, would that be helpful? They would say, yeah, but we don't have like 2 years to invest in that. And you can say, yeah, but I can do it next week. And it's a big gap, and it will be filled, and more like product people would go into these details. But in the near future, I think that's one of the responsibilities of like you as data scientists to kind of even understand and translate between what you know is possible and what product wants. And it's definitely not easy. Maybe adding to our previous discussion, there are several like initiatives. I, for example, sit in a special committee of Bar-Ilan University where they strive to have data science education for every student in the university, including law students and psychologists and literature, okay? They're saying data, understanding data, looking into data is a core capability of people in the modern world, and you have to learn that. And I also heard several people say that if software engineers nowadays, they know about logging and monitoring and APM and many other things that are not just writing code in an efficient way. And machine learning will be one of those skills that they have to learn. What are your views on this? Is data science something that every person in the modern world needs to know? And is this something that every software developer a software engineer would need to know to a good level to be successful in the world in a few years?
Well, that's a good topic because we discussed before about the differences between machine learning engineer and data scientist, for example, right? So in our company, we have big data engineers, right, that they need to deploy eventually my machine learning model. So as you said, they strive to know, wait, okay, so I will Dockerize it and I will send it, but what did you do there? They are craving to know the interiors of inside, and I think that once they will know the guts of the machine learning and they have the curiosity, they just need us to tell them what's inside there, they will help us to make it way more efficient than the way that we are doing it now, because they have the understanding of big data and scale and how to take things into production. So in similar, for example, I'm passing a course to all of the engineers from machine learning, like A to Z. Of course, the basics, because we don't have the time for it, but I think it's crucial that they will know, they will help us to take it to a whole nother level.
Okay, so not only data scientists are overloaded with papers and new developments, all people are overloaded with information right now. So I would not say that it's data science that everyone should learn, but the mindset, kind of probabilistic mindset, to filter everything, to understand how it's all related, that is useful for sure. As for software developers, yes, I think that's a good point that they should know at least some data science and machine learning for two reasons. First of all, there are a lot of simple tasks in this world which almost any developer can actually solve and deploy quite quickly. So why not do that? Why not do this? And the second reason is that we are currently experiencing and probably will experience in coming years a shortage of machine learning professionals. So there are more applied, quite simple or intermediate problems which are just not touched by professionals. So we are currently focused on kind of complex problems, but there are a huge amount of simple problems and there is no one to solve them. So it would be good if any software developer actually knows something to some extent, probably not like cutting edge research topics or the latest developments, but just usual machine learning, probably simple models because they are easier to train and easier to deploy, and they cost less in production than huge neural nets. So yeah, I think that would be a good development.
Yeah, so I think the easy answer is wherever you have data and lots of data, this is a skill you need, right? You need to know what to do with the data, what can you achieve, and how to achieve it. And that's basically data science. That is the set of, or the toolbox for doing stuff with data. In that sense, wherever there's data, you need that expertise, and there's data everywhere, hence you need that everywhere, more or less, at least in the technology, broadly speaking, and also in almost every aspect of science nowadays, from physics, like it was mentioned before, healthcare, drug design, but also social sciences and archaeology. So there's activity at the university for analyzing, broken pieces of vases from thousands of years ago using machine vision. Okay, so it's certainly, I think everyone needs to understand that the technology exists and what sort of questions you can ask with it. Not everyone, on Earth needs to know how to train neural nets, but certainly it's part of the things. Like everyone knows what DNA is, right? Even if you can't sequence it yourself. So certainly it should start at that. Certainly for computer scientists and the broader technology education should contain it as one of the important pieces of the toolbox in the field.
So again, I'm totally agree, and I have my own workshops. It's called AI for Decision Makers, when I help executive and product managers or people who are not technical to learn more about this topic. So after workshops, I get really great feedback, because now they keep telling me I can speak with my data scientist and finally understand what is wrong for me. Or as a product manager, I know why it takes him too much to make the fine-tuning of the hyperparameters, or why we need to spend a lot of money for buying a new data set that will help us. So when you are teaching the people who are behind the scenes of the process, what is AI, what is a machine learning, what is problematic in this entire process, you can see that the entire process inside the company is much better, because everyone realizes what is the problem, what is the key to success, and then you can see that all the flow of this kind of development is much easier, and then you can see the management start to ask for more development or more new features based on their new knowledge, and it just helps the data scientists or the entire data team to do their job much better. So I think that the education of what is possible, what is, even the basic terms is super important and can help a lot of companies. I totally agree that they don't need to understand the math or how to compute it, but they need to understand the new capability, mainly when it's super easy to implement nowadays. There are great APIs or great on-the-shelf products that you can just plug and play and it works. So the management and everyone else need to know that they have this kind of opportunity to use this technology, and they have to keep that in mind.